Not having a website is just a tremendous mistake. Our sales numbers would probably cut in half. They would at least cut in half if we didn't have our web presence. So think of it this way, half of all the business we sell, especially residential, comes off of the web. We have sold a lot of money of commercial off of the web as well. So it's true for both areas. It's true for every segment: irrigation, irrigation, lawn mowing, sod. It's all of that. No matter what the service is, it comes through the web as well. So your strategy really needs to be to get a website. It's really, really critical. So the point of this was, the question was, is a website important? The answer is unequivocally, absolutely imperative. So not to make this a sales pitch, but I will say that if you want to go get a website, we spent thousands and thousands of dollars to build our websites. We know what we're doing, so we spend a lot of our own time and effort to get ourselves good rankings, not perfect rankings, but good rankings. Rankings good enough that we get tons of business, and we spent a lot of money to do this. It was all well worth it. If you are a user of our Service Autopilot product, then you want to use our website feature. We've built all these website templates that you can just turn on, and you could have multiple websites overnight. And those websites take into account a lot of the tactics that go into search engine optimization. Now, they can't handle all of them. You need to do more, but it takes into account more than most anybody else understands about the stuff. Your typical web developer doesn't know everything to do. We've already incorporated in our web templates a lot of that. So I don't want this to be a sales pitch, but it's a very economical way to get a bunch of websites fast versus going out and hiring a designer, finding a hosting company, and building all these individual websites. There is an alternative, and we're not the only person that has this type of an alternative, but it's something to think about. We custom built all our websites. Now we actually use a bunch of the templates out of Service Autopilot for our own company as well. They're very good, but this is what you want to do. I really encourage you to have a web presence. Figure out how you can get a website as economical and quickly and inexpensively as possible. And let me say something that's critically important. A lot of people think you need to go out and build this super fancy website. So if you were to look at the website for my companies, we have a lot of money. We make a lot of money. We have a lot of money in the bank, but we don't go blow it on building super fancy websites. Yeah, you go look at some of these big corporations and these companies with a lot of capital and venture capital. They build these beautiful, glorious websites. A pretty website doesn't sell more than a mediocre website. You don't need this beautiful website. It's not going to sell more business. A nice, attractive website's good. There are key components to it. It's the copy on your website that's going to sell you, not the pictures, not the prettiness of it. So don't go spend 10 or 20 grand having somebody build you this fancy, super nice website. I don't think you can distinguish the additional sales you'll make between having a $2,000 website and a $20,000 website. It comes down to the copy. So don't go do all that. You just need the web presence, and you need something nice and decent. You need really good copy on it, and you need to do a number of things that satisfy the search engine optimization criteria so you can get a good ranking. But it doesn't mean you need to spend 20 grand. That's overkill. It's a complete waste of money. Don't do that. Get a web presence. Do it as economical as possible. If you need help with it, call our office and we'll give you some guidance, and we can help you figure out exactly how to get the rankings, how to get to the top of the search engines fast, and how to get some websites for really, really cheap. I mean, a fraction of what you would normally spend, and economically have 5 or 6 websites versus just have one. Having multiple websites is a really, really good strategy. It is a huge strategy that I would use. Having one website is not, it's good, but it's not where I wouldn't stop with that. Our strategy works extremely well, and that is a strategy of having a lot of websites about specific to cities and specific to services. So I hope that's helpful. If I really want to just leave you with the fact that you've got to have a website. It's critical to your success. It'll greatly increase your sales. But just having a website isn't enough. It's got to get listed in the search engines. It's got to get listed high. Having a website that gets ranked on page 8 of Google, nobody sees you. So having a website in that case is nearly worthless, except for If you put a door hanger out and they go to your website and visit you and fill out an estimate request form on your website, that's good. But getting people to just automatically find you through the internet, not going to happen unless you get to the top. So you've got to first get the website, then you've got to be willing to do what it takes, which it takes a little effort, and you may need to spend a little money, but you need to do that to get you to the front page, first page in Google or Bing or Yahoo, and then get yourself up towards the top of the search engine. The great and wonderful thing is, in your local market where you're competing, most everybody doesn't have a clue what they're doing. It's not as hard as you'd think. It's actually a lot easier than you would expect. So, hope that's helpful. Go get a website if you don't have one. And if you do have one, you got to make that copy really, really good. And you've got to get multiple websites and get yourself seen.